Hi everyone, it's Machikini here. I'm excited to talk to you at the upcoming meeting, and I just wanted to give some of the highlights of what we're going to talk about in the session because I think it's really exciting, and I hope you'll join us for the session. So we're going to talk about unlocking the data behind the class to power the agentic future of pathology. And so we're going to talk in the presentation about what this agentic future is and how we can use these AI tools to really help 10x what we can do in pathology. And to do that, we're actually going to use a lot of AI images and things. And so to first start, we're actually going to here first transform this picture of me into a kind of a Lego version of me, which is kind of a fun way that we're going to kind of weave through the presentation with this, just to show the power of some of these AI tools that we can do. So I'm going to take on a bit of journey in the presentation. We're going to go through the current state of AI in digital pathology. We're going to talk a bit about how it works, and then we're going to talk about how we can use those advanced tools in pathology. What does the future of AI look like, and what will 2030 look like for pathology, maybe? And so I'm just going to give you a little bit of a sneak preview in this kind of short little video here of what to see in the session. And I really hope you'll join us in the session early Tuesday morning. We're going to talk first a bit about how we can use these agentic coding agents to really make even apps or tools in pathology. What the current state is just highlighting something that I've built as kind of a proof of concept principle that I've been building. Then we're gonna talk about how we can use these tools in pathology, especially as we transition now from this analog pathology with our conventional microscopes into a digital world. So what can we do with these in pathology? And really, I really want to present that it's a really exciting time in pathology in that we're going to unlock all this data that's been trapped underneath the glass. And really, it's going to exponentially accelerate what we can do with these pathology images beyond what we could with our analog microscopes. And I really want to set the stage is that you can really think of pathology as this factory where you have this input of specimens and you need to have the output of reports. And what I kind of want to challenge us in the session is can we rethink some of these things in this AI world or this agentic world where we can actually expedite these things and do it a lot quicker and more efficiently that's really better for everyone. And we'll go through this in the session about how we can put some of these agentic workflows in it. And I'll teach you what an agent is and how that differs from other AI tools and how these can really 10x a lot of these experiences. We'll go a little bit in detail into some of how these LLMs and these underlying architecture work. Don't worry, it won't get too technical, and we'll explain it in a way that is eligible for everyone to understand. And then I'll showcase some examples of practical examples in my lab where we've gotten AI tools up and running in a way that really has been exponentially improving for our tools. This is just an example of an algorithm here that detects basal cell carcinoma here in frozen sections that we're currently deploying. As kind of an exciting example of proof of principle, that's something that's relatively easy to do, and just to show that these things are going to be exponentially integrating into our clinical practice. Just another one that we've built here showing that we can detect tumor when it's involving margin in this case. And then showcase some examples of where we're using more simple image analysis algorithms to classify tumor that we can use for quantification of things such as Key67, and how we can build these and utilize these in our work. And then we're going to talk a bit about there's all these general purpose tools out there, and so how can we use these as pathologists to kind of solve real world problems? And so this will be a real practical discussion about how you as a practicing pathologist can use these tools today to improve your practice, right? And so we think if we currently have these currently challenging cases, we have to read a textbook, or we might be googling here, what is this weird tumor, or if worst case comes to worst, we actually have to mail it out to a colleague to get some help with it. But the one thing that's changed here, and this has been really helpful for me, is these reasoning models are really great thought partners and brainstorming partners. And I'll showcase some examples of this where you can really use these tools to really help you crack really challenging cases. And it's kind of like that perfect thought partner that can iterate and go back and forth with you, search the internet, search for case reports or case series, or help you kind of uncover these mysteries. And so these things have really helped me kind of work through cases. So we'll talk about that. I'll give some examples of how you can use it to select IHC stains. And then we'll talk a little bit about these deep research queries. And so this is just an example of how I kind of developed a whole kind of review of the landscape of a topic area that I was unfamiliar with for a presentation, and how this can really accelerate a lot of these tasks that we need to do. And then we'll explore what we can do with these general purpose models. They're not just text anymore. So yes, you can text them, but you can also, there's voice and also images as well. And so there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with this multimodal capabilities of these tools. An example here is this stream of consciousness dictation where we've explored in my lab where if the pathologist just kind of says what they're seeing under the microscope, can we use this to turn this into a pathology report? And the answer is it actually works quite well. And so I'll showcase showcase some examples of that. And then we'll just end with some kind of fun things around my lab also explores eye tracking in pathology as well, and how we can interact with this in pathology and how this can drive a lot of AI tools in the future. We'll showcase some fun work where we compared pathologists to be able to find Waldo versus other things in pathology like mitotic figures. And we'll use this to kind of understand how pathologists look at different sizes of screens and as well. And we'll end with something that's just really fun, kind of outside the box in my lab, where we actually turn pathology slides into sound. So please come to the session and you can actually hear your pathology slides. It's kind of a fun way to end the presentation. And lastly, we'll just talk about kind of a vision for the future. So what does kind of this agentic vision for pathology might look like in 2030? And I really hope it'll be kind of a start point of a discussion. So I really hope you can join us in the session. And thanks so much. And I look forward to meeting you all at the conference. Thanks.